My name is Elena, and I'm a teacher. I've loved learning for as long as I can remember, and teaching lets me share that love every day. My classroom is my happy place, full of curious students, the sound of pencils scribbling, and laughter. Teaching isn't just a job for me. It's what I'm meant to do. There's nothing like helping kids realize their potential. My students inspire me, each one with their own special qualities that make every day meaningful. Last year, during a teacher training workshop, I met someone who really stood out. His name was John. He was tall, with kind eyes, and a smile that put you at ease. We ended up sitting next to each other, and by the end of the first hour, we were already joking about the long presentation slides. John was a math teacher, and he had a way of making numbers exciting. I was fascinated, since math had always been a mystery to me. Our conversation was easy, like we had known each other for years. By the end of the workshop, I knew I wanted to get to know him better. Over the next few weeks, we ran into each other more at school events. Every time our chats grew warmer. He had this way of making even boring topics, like school schedules, sound interesting. His humor was effortless, and his laughter was contagious. Soon we were talking about more than just work. After school, we started having coffee together, sharing personal stories and dreams. He told me about his love for teaching and how he wanted to inspire his students to love math. I shared how I'd always loved literature and believed in the power of stories to change lives. The more time we spent together, the more I felt drawn to him. There was something about him that made me feel comfortable, understood. I couldn't pinpoint exactly when, but my feelings for John grew deeper than just admiration. At first, I wasn't sure if he felt the same way. I wondered if I was imagining the connection. He had never mentioned a wife or family, so I thought maybe he was single. The way he looked at me, the way he listened, it felt real, like something was building between us. Then, everything changed. It started like any other day. I was home later that evening, relaxing with a cup of tea when my phone buzzed with an unknown number. I hesitated but answered. "Hello, is this Elena?" a calm voice asked. "Yes," I replied, a little uneasy. "My name is Olivia. I'm John's wife." Everything seemed to stop. My heart raced and I gripped the phone tightly. "What?" I whispered. "We've been married for 5 years, Olivia said. "I saw you with him. I love my husband Elena and I don't want to lose him." I was shocked and couldn't believe what I was hearing. John was married? He had never mentioned it. I felt a mix of betrayal, guilt, and confusion. He didn't tell me," I said, my voice shaking. "Maybe he didn't," Olivia replied, her tone heavy. "But now you know. I need you to understand. John is my husband, and I don't want to lose him." Her words hit me hard. I thought about all the moments I'd shared with John, how it felt like we had a real connection. Now it all seemed wrong. How had I not known? How had I let myself believe in something that wasn't true? "I didn't know," I whispered. "I'm not calling to fight," Olivia said softly. "I'm calling because I need you to understand. I don't want to lose my family. Please, help me." Her plea stayed with me long after the call ended. That night I sat alone, overwhelmed with emotions. I thought about Olivia's pain, the photos she sent of her and John together. They looked happy. The weight of everything I had unknowingly been part of was crushing. I thought about John, but I also thought about Olivia. I felt lost, unsure of what to do next. One thing was clear. My view of John and my life would never be the same. The next morning, I barely slept. My mind was a jumble of emotions: anger, sadness, guilt, and confusion. At school, I knew I had to confront John. I couldn't ignore what had happened. I was heading to my classroom when I saw him by the coffee machine, chatting with a colleague. For a second, I wondered if maybe Olivia was lying, or if their marriage wasn't what it seemed. But the photos were real. She was real. John noticed me and waved. "Good morning, Elena," he called. I felt sick. I forced a smile and walked up to him. "John, can we talk? Privately?" I asked. He raised an eyebrow. "Of course. Is everything okay?" "Not here," I said. "Let's go somewhere quiet." We went to an empty conference room and the silence was thick. I turned to him, my hands trembling. "John," I started, trying to steady my voice, "I need to ask you something and I want you to be honest with me." He looked worried. "What's going on, Elena?" "I got a call last night," I said, "from Olivia." His face went pale. "She called you?" he whispered. "She told me everything," I said, "about your marriage, about how you've been together for 5 years. John stepped back, his eyes wide. He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. Finally he spoke, his voice shaky. "Elena, why didn't you tell me?" I interrupted. "Why did you let me believe you were single? Why did you let this happen?" He ran a hand through his hair, looking defeated. "I didn't mean for this to go this far," he said. "I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't know how to tell you." "Didn't know how to tell me?" I said, feeling disbelief. "You had plenty of chances, John. You could have told me the truth, but you didn't. You lied to both of us." "I didn't lie," he said weakly. "I just didn't tell you." I let out a bitter laugh. "That's the same thing, John. You hid part of your life from me." The silence between us was heavy. Then he took a step closer, his voice soft. "Elena, I care about you. What I feel for you is real. I know I messed up, but I don't want to lose you." His words made my heart ache, but also made me angry. "You don't want to lose me?" I said, trembling. "What about Olivia? Do you care about her? About your marriage?" He hesitated, and I saw the struggle in his eyes. "I do care about Olivia," he admitted, "but things between us have been complicated for a while. I didn't plan for this to happen. I didn't plan to fall for you." "Fall for me?" I shook my head. "This isn't a love story. Actions have consequences." I thought about Olivia's words, her pain. "She called me John," I said. "She begged me not to hurt her family. Do you understand what you've done?" He looked desperate. "Please, Elena, believe me. I never meant to hurt anyone. I just couldn't stay away from you." I felt tears well up, but I held them back. "You should have stayed away, John. You should have told me the truth. But now I can't be part of this. I won't." He reached for my hand, but I pulled away. "Please don't do this," he said, his voice cracking. "I can't lose you." I looked at him, the man I thought I knew, and felt sadness. "You already lost me, John," I said quietly. "The moment you chose to lie, you lost me." I turned and walked out of the room, leaving him behind. As I walked down the hallway, the weight of my decision settled in. It hurt more than I expected, but I knew it was the right thing. I couldn't change the past, but I could choose a future where I respected myself and others. I didn't look back. As Elena's story unfolds, we are reminded of the importance of honesty, trust, and the choices we make in our relationships. Sometimes, the hardest decisions are the ones that protect our hearts and our integrity. How would you have handled a situation like this? What steps do you think are necessary to rebuild trust after betrayal? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about the power of truth and self-respect in our lives. If you found yourself in a similar situation, remember, it's never too late to make decisions that align with your values. Take a moment today to reflect on your relationships. Are there truths you need to face? or actions you need to take. The path to healing starts with you.